Righto. Righto. Today we're here with Stephen from Lifestyle Down Under, and we're going to touch on a topic of how the business has changed lives. So, how you going, Stephen?
I'm going fantastic. Thanks, Craig. I'm honoured that you got me on to have a bit of a chat. So
no, that's right. Not a problem. Thanks for jumping on with us. So, okay, so what we'll start off with is, well, firstly, what were you, majority of us use this as a side hustle, and I think that's how it started out for you. But some time ago, you decided to just go all in into this. Now, there's a reason behind that. So if you're happy to, what made you decide to just go all in and give this a good
well, look, we'll go back to the start. I guess on 22nd of this month, it will be 6 months for me in this business. And I think I was about 4 weeks in. I was working full-time as a mechanical fitter and mechanic, doing suspension work on full drives and doing core conversions in Land Cruisers and doing all that sort of stuff, which full drives is my passion. And that was the industry I'd worked so hard to get to.
Yep.
And then when I got there, I don't know, I wasn't fulfilled. It didn't do what I thought it was going to do. Like, I thought for years I'd tried to get into the full drive industry and work in it.
Yep.
Because I was passionate about full drives and doing that sort of thing. And then when I got there, I don't know, I wasn't fulfilled. So I started looking elsewhere, and I come across an opportunity on Facebook, like so many people in this business, and I thought it sparked an interest. You know what I mean? I thought I saw an opportunity to grow something that was going to allow me to do what I wanted to do, which is travel Australia. And I knew that a traditional job wasn't ever going to give me that. And so many people, I guess, choose to sell everything and then do a quick dash around Australia and get back, and then they have to go back to work.
Yep.
And that wasn't my idea of how I wanted to do it. I didn't want to be on a timeline. I didn't want to do that. So I really seen the value in the opportunity and what it could potentially give me. So I started out, I reached out, I had the chat, I did the process, and essentially got started. I was very wary, as most are. I was skeptical. I was like, it seems really too good, but I was like, but at the same time, I was lucky enough to have an opportunity to meet the fellow I was talking to online, which is now my mentor, yours as well, Brett and Molly. They happen to live only about 25 minutes away from where I did.
Yeah, right.
And I was able to set up a meeting, and that made me feel more comfortable. Because, I mean, as you would know, Craig, it's dealing with purely online. It's hard. It's scary. You know what I mean? So
it definitely,
yeah, and trust was a big thing, you know. And but the videos resonated with me. He seemed like he had the same story as me. He had the same goal as me, and they were almost there. So I was like, well, I gotta at least ask some questions. So I got an opportunity to meet him. That put me at ease, and that's what sort of got me to the point of committing. And essentially, I signed up into the training platform that we're using, and I was excited. I was enthusiastic. I wanted to learn, and I was still scared. I was still skeptical, and family members were still giving me grief. Like, they were saying, what are you doing? Like, this is a scam and blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, but what have I got to lose? You know, I was at a point where I didn't have a lot financially. I was working in a job I didn't really like. I was always tired and angry, and I had nothing to lose. I wouldn't say I was at rock bottom, but I was pretty bloody close. So I jumped in. I said, yep, sign me up. I got started in the training. I loved it. I seen some of the offers in there. I loved it. I saw the potential. Didn't have any idea about how it was going to work or how the hell I was going to do it, but I knew that it would work because I could see the results. So, and then, man, I pretty much went hard for the first bit, smashed all the training out, got my Facebook page up, got everything that started, got the ball rolling. And then I found myself at work. I wasn't even focusing on what I was doing. Like, I had nothing. I was like this. I had blinkers on, and I didn't want to. I wasn't interested in being there. All I thought about was getting home and doing some posts and getting this shit started, you know. So I got that done, and about 4 weeks, I think it was, and I got let go from my job.
Yep.
And I think I didn't get an exact reason why. I mean, I have a pretty good idea why. I mean, at the end of the day, I'll be the first to admit that my enthusiasm in my work, probably ethic, went down once I started this, because of my focus wasn't on that. It was on this. And that was probably a big thing. But the other thing, they were a real stickler for me taking time off. And I took about 3 days off in about a 3-week period to watch my kids, because at the time we were in school holidays over Christmas. Or no, it was September school holidays. I think it was, September school holidays. And I had to take some time off because my wife works shift work as a nurse, and she earns more than me, or she earned more than me per hour. So it made sense for me to not go to work and for her to go to work, you know. And I tried to explain that to them, and they didn't like that. So, and that's a really big, another really big reason why I was so motivated to work for myself, because I didn't want anyone else dictating what I did, when I did it, when I had time off, when I went on holidays, all of that stuff that most employees deal with. And some bosses don't understand that. And when you've got kids, especially in school holidays, like my kids are older. I've got 3 kids. One's out of school now. She's 17. My young fella's 14, and I've got a daughter that's 9. So they're not little kids that we can just put into daycare. You know, they're not interested in going to holiday care and that sort of thing. So we had to still be here though. So anyway, that was sort of a reason, some time off, I guess, and you know, my work dropped off because I wasn't interested in it. So that left me with a decision to make, really. And I'd already learnt so much in that first 4 weeks, which I'd love to reiterate to anyone that watches this, how important self-development is, because I'd never heard of self-development before I started this. I'd never read a book in my life, like seriously, a proper book. I'd never read one in my life. Not even at school. When I used to have to read it, I'd just say I did and guess, you know.
I was like that too. I'm the same. I'm not a reader. Far from it. But,
I was not a reader. And I'd never heard of, you know, you hear about these things like the power of the mind and all this sort of stuff, but it was just all I didn't give a shit about. But that was the first thing I got exposed to when I come into this. The mentors, the training, everything was talking about read this, watch this, study successful people, do what your mentors are doing, all of that. And when I started looking at all these people, even famous people that I looked up to, and sportsmen and women, and all these people, they all have coaches, they all have mentors, they all do work on their self-development and their mindset. That's how you become successful and have strong power. Like it's so important. And I went hard at it. I was uncomfortable with doing it. I didn't believe in it at that stage. I was like, whatever, I'll read the book, I'll watch a bit of this, and started to resonate with me. And I started to see a common theme when I would read about this guy and do this and do that. I started seeing the same things as patterns, like setting goals, carrying through, commitment, you know, resilience, not giving up when you fail. All of these things started popping up everywhere. And so I started to embrace it, and I started to practice it. And 4 weeks into this, I lost my job, as I said. And normally before this opportunity, it would have broke me. I was already at a point where I was suffering a little bit of anxiety and depression and just really lack of enthusiasm for life, because I was overdoing what I was doing. And it would have ruined me. I would have hid in the room, boxed myself off from everyone, and just and poor me. But I didn't have that. All of a sudden, I lost my job, and I went, all right. Like, it threw me back. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't expecting it. And I sort of, on the drive home, I listened to Adrian Wesley. And if you haven't heard of him, Google him or do something with him because he's the man. And
he's brilliant. He's brilliant.
He is awesome. We had him on our team meeting not that long ago, and he works closely with our team and Lifestyle Hustlers, and very, very knowledgeable man when it comes to the power of the mind and how to change and shift your mindset to be powerful and not blame other people. Start taking responsibility for your own actions. So
basically, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I sort of, instead of crying about it, having a whinge about it, going into a meltdown, I sort of embraced it. And don't get me wrong, I was still worried because all of a sudden I'd just lost $1,000 a week. And keeping in mind, I'd only just started this online business, and just like any business, you don't start making money straight away. So it takes a little bit of time, it takes effort, and I wasn't at the point where I was earning anything yet. I was still building. I just got my Facebook page up and running. I was still learning about the products. I was still learning. And so I lost $1,000 a week, and that was scary. That was like, oh God, what are we going to do? And the whole way home, I listened to Adrian Wesley. I kept calm. I told the wife. She freaked a little bit and went into a meltdown because that's how we used to react to stuff like this. But for some reason, it didn't happen this time, and I put it down to 100% of the 4 weeks. Now that's not a long time, but 4 weeks of self-development that I'd done prepared me to deal with that situation without going into a meltdown and blaming everyone else. So that's pretty powerful in itself. You know?
Yeah, definitely. See, that self-development, it's like the common denominator for a success, really. if you're not
you research anyone, it pops up everywhere.
Absolutely. And if there's a saying a lot of people use: fill your own cup first before trying to deal with others and fill others. Like, exactly. If you haven't got yourself set right, you're not going to help. No, really,
100%. Yep. And that's why it's taken me this long to really come out of my shell. Like I said, I've been doing this for 6 months, but it's only really been the last 2 months where I've actually started to actively start helping other people. And because it took me 4 months to get myself right, get myself my own mindset right, and now I feel like I'm at a point where I can start sharing this stuff because it's valuable. It's changed my life completely because it's taken me from someone that was insecure and used to blame everyone else for my problems, and take responsibility for my actions and actually change my mindset from, everything's changed. The way I view money, the way I spend my money, what I do with my time, what I consume, what I watch, what I listen to, like everything has changed. And when you change all of that, it makes a massive difference to your life. It really does.
Oh, definitely.
And I'll get back to the point of what made me go all in. I'd seen enough 4 weeks in to realize that what we were doing and what we're all doing now works. And I also was smart enough to realize that even though I wasn't earning any money yet, if I was prepared to go all in and give it all of my time, I was going to get faster results. I was going to be able to grow it faster because just like anything, the more time you give something, the better results you're going to get, the better and the faster you're going to get those results. So it's no different with the online business. If you can give it 3 hours a day, that's great. You'll grow it, but it'll be slower. If you can give it 10 hours a day, you're going to grow it a lot faster. If you utilize those hours right, otherwise you waste those hours too. You know what I mean?
That's exactly it.
And then I pretty much sat down with the wife. We went through our finances and went, right, it's not ideal. It did put us in a financial jam, and I'll be 100% honest. We're still at a point where we think money's still tight. Like I'm still growing this, and we lost a lot of income. I lost 50 grand a year or 60 grand a year. So it was a massive hit to our budget. But we refinanced, we rejigged a few things. We stopped wasting money on silly things that we didn't need. We only buy what we absolutely need now. And I negotiated with her to give me 3 months to give this a crack and start getting some results. And I went hard for another 3 months. So what was a month in? So that took me to the 4 month mark. And I'll be 100% honest. I didn't probably get to where I thought I was going to get in 4 months.
Yeah.
I'd seen some faster results in the business, and I'd seen plenty of slower results in the business, but I had high expectations, and I'll be the first one to admit I probably didn't hit where I thought I was going to hit in 4 months. But that doesn't mean it's not working.
Oh,
I mean,
definitely.
I'd changed, my whole life had changed. My relationship with my wife had improved. My relationship with my kids had improved. I was a happier person. I enjoyed getting up in the morning. Part of that was because I didn't have to go to a 9 to 5 anymore. But I had to start treating this business like a business. And I'll be honest, probably that first month after I lost my job, I wasn't. I was treating this like a hobby, and I was treating this like a side hustle still. And I think that was why I didn't reach where I was expecting to reach, because I didn't treat this like a business. And this is a business, guys, like 100%.
Definitely.
It's not just putting a few posts up on Facebook. Like there's so much work that goes in behind the scenes, researching, reading, developing your own mind, then also training. Like I had no experience in sales. I had no experience in anything to do with online marketing. I was, like I said, I was a mechanic and I was a fabricator. So I'd always liked the idea of getting into sales, but I was always scared off because it was a real cutthroat industry.
Yep.
And that's what I love about network marketing is you're not working on your own. And network marketing, everyone is here to help each other. And I've never seen that in any other sales industry, and I don't think there is anything out there that I know of where people will actually help you. They'll tell you what's working for them, what's not working for them. They will literally do everything to help you. And I've never experienced that amount of support in this team. And that was a really long-winded version of why I decided to go all in. But it was something that made sense to me. I seen the value. I could see the results. It made sense to me, and I had nothing to lose. So I went, but let's go.
Why not? You had the opportunity. Basically, you had the opportunity, and in a sense, I guess you could say you took a gamble of going all in, and it's paying off.
Yeah, I did take a gamble, mate, and like I said, I didn't get the results that I thought I was going to.
But you're starting to see.
I'm starting to see results now. Definitely, things are starting to build now. Like, it's so important once you start getting some momentum.
Yes.
To really capitalize on that. But the groundwork that you've got to put in at the start varies for everyone, and that's why when people ask me all the time, like, how long is it going to take before I make money, and how much am I going to make, and all this, mate, I can't answer that because every single person that comes into this business has different personal issues. They have different beliefs. They have different things, and that stuff takes some people a short period of time to work through, and others a long time. Like, there's people in this business that have had to work on themselves for nearly 12 months to get things right up here, so that they can help people and help themselves. And other people are already been doing that. If you've been practicing self-development and you're a positive person and you're always, glass half full and all that sort of stuff, and then you stumble across this opportunity, well, bam, you'll have success really fast because you've already done that stuff that a lot of people haven't. You can roll straight into learning marketing, sales, how to master the back office of Facebook and do paid advertisements, and how to do targeting, and all that stuff that we learn. And then, some people already have experience. They're already doing self-development. They're already doing sales, but not online. Well, they're going to have success a lot faster than someone like myself, because I had to learn all that from scratch. So it's a very hard question to answer, and I'm sure you've had that question plenty of times before.
Oh, definitely.
And I just explain it to people.
Down, how long's a piece of string? Like, everyone, as you say, everyone's different. Everyone's got different circumstances. But the biggest thing is you don't need experience to do this, previous experience. No, like
I had none.
We're both the same spanner monkeys. I'm the same. I'm of the same trade as you. So if people like us, spanner monkeys, can do it, pretty much anyone can do it. You don't need to have degrees in marketing, degrees in business, sales experience, anything like that. If you've just got the drive and passion to want to do something different, do something for yourself and your family and be better, you can do it. But it takes...
What we have here is essentially an online university for marketing. It is what it is. It's like doing another apprenticeship, but instead of having to do it for 4 years, you can have really good results in 12 months if you give it 12 months of dedication and really go hard at it and treat it like a job, because that's what it is. And it's not even a job, actually. I shouldn't say that. It's a lifestyle change. You can't just, it's not like you go to work at 8 and then you finish at 5. No, that's not how entrepreneurs work. And that was a big mind shift for me, getting out of that employee mindset. I've been an employee for 19 years. I go and work for someone, I go to work, I do what I've got to do, then I come home and I forget about work. Being an entrepreneur and being an online marketer, and it doesn't work like that. And that's why this isn't for everyone. Because some people like just going to work, doing their thing and coming home. That's fine. But if you don't, you can only have, the reason why I didn't like being an employee anymore was, there was a few reasons. There was I'll give you 3. The main reason was I was sick of being dictated to when and where and what I had to do and when I had to do it. So I had to ask permission to go on holidays with my own bloody family, right? And everyone normally wants to take Christmas off, so someone's got to work and go through all that. So I didn't want to do that anymore. The other thing is, with a normal 9-to-5 job, and I spoke about this the other day on a go live I did, you are limited to, there's a ceiling, you can't earn exponential amounts of money in a normal 9-to-5 job for 99% of the population. There is some people that can earn ridiculous amounts of money, but I'm talking about the average Joe Blow like me and you, Craig. You can't earn, $10,000 a month, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month. You can't do it in a normal job. I could never do that. Even when I was working in the mines, sacrificing my time, I was trading my time for money, but I was still only earning $3,000 a week, right? Which is great money. Don't get me wrong, but I had to sacrifice my whole fucking life to get that. And
definitely,
when I got to the end, I thought I had to get out of here, otherwise I'm going to lose my family. You know what I mean? So that's massive sacrifice. Or even that's not really that good of money compared to what you can earn online once you get things cranking, right?
That's it.
It's phenomenal what you can earn, and that was another reason why I thought I've got to try this online thing, because it's uncapped, right? No one's dictating how much you can earn. It's 100% up to you. But it does raise the question that you need to be disciplined and you need to be accountable for your actions, though. You know what I mean? Because all of a sudden you don't have anyone telling you have to do stuff. You've got to do that yourself. So you've got to be right up here again, So
that's it.
And the third one is you only get paid when you work. So if something happens to you, and I know you've suffered some injuries, Craig, and I'm in a similar boat. I got a dodgy knee and a few other bits and pieces, and I had to have time off, and once you run out of sick pay, if it's not a work injury, but it's just an old injury, you're shit out of luck.
That's it.
You aren't getting paid anymore. And that was a big motivator for me as well. So having the flexibility to work from home, I'm no longer putting my body under massive stress and working, ruining my body for when I finally do get to retirement, which is why I didn't want to work 50 years and then get to retirement and then not be able to enjoy it.
Hell yeah.
So that's, there are 3 things that really you get online that you can't get in a normal job.
Absolutely. And the way our government and their wisdom have decided to increase the retirement age, by the time I get to retirement, I've only got 20 years and I'm at retirement, because by the time when people around my era get to retirement, the actual age is 70 now. For the government allow you to retire and get
crazy, eh?
Yeah, and like I'm 50. I can't. There's no way I'm going to work doing what I've been doing till I'm 70. You
Yeah.
know, so that's what I need something that's physically easier. Mentally, it doesn't have to be easier, and this isn't. Like, it does take, as you said, takes a lot of concentration, a lot upstairs.
This isn't easy.
No,
this isn't easy.
No, but it can be if you want it to be. If you're willing to learn and give it a go, yes. Righto, so you've covered most of the questions I had, which is great. That's great. So, you know, obviously the family's a lot happier too now, like, because you're getting to spend more time with the family, so they'd be a lot happier with that.
Yeah, definitely. It takes you know, I live in Brisbane, so I was commuting a lot to work, and that was another big reason why I wanted to get out of that, because I was in the traffic every day. And where I was working before I lost my job at this at the job before this.
Yep.
Prior to that job, I was commuting an hour and a half each way. So 3 hours a day I was spending in the car going to and from work. So I was leaving home before my kids and my wife got up, and I was getting home when the kids were going to bed. Yeah. And I wasn't seeing them, you know, and it was dark when I left, dark when I got home. And then on top of that, I was buggered because, you know, everyone knows driving, you know, it takes the out of you. Plus, you've just done it. I was doing 10-hour days, plus 3 hour, plus an hour and a half, plus an hour. That's 13-hour day. I was buggered, man, when I got home. I was done. I was dusted. So, not to mention I had a broken mindset too. So I was just like, ugh, you know. And so yeah, they've seen a massive change in me. My wife said to me 2 weeks into this that she's seen a difference in me. So that's how fast it can change your life. And so many people worry purely about the financial benefits of this business. But there is so many other benefits to trying something like this, other than money, that can give you more happiness than money.
Exactly, exactly.
Right away, man, you can have as much money in the world, but if you're not right up here and you've got the right mindset and you've got the people around you that you love, like, what's the point?
That's right. That's exactly right. Money won't buy happiness. That's the old saying. No. Money doesn't buy happiness, and it doesn't.
It won't buy happiness, but you know, on the flip side of that, you need it. You need it to live a happy life. Yeah. But like I said, you can have lots of it, but you've got to have a balance.
Yeah, that's it.
And I didn't have, like, you can't live without money. Like, we all need it.
That's right.
But you can't be driven by that. And that was why I went to the mines. I was driven purely for the dollar. I didn't want to go and work in the middle of the desert in the Pilbara. Like, that wasn't. I was going there to earn money, which is cool. Yeah. But it's when you start something like this, it can't just be about money. It's got to be more about. And for me, it's not like this business. And if there's people in this business that are earning absolutely astronomical amounts of money, more than they can spend, right? And they're still hungry. They want more money, and there's nothing wrong with that. No. That's their passion. They want to be the best at the best of the best, and that's how millionaires are made, right? I don't want to be a millionaire. I don't want to be. I'm chasing lifestyle, and I'm chasing balance, and I'm chasing time to just do what I want to do and live comfortably. I'm not saying I don't want to earn hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yes, I do. Yeah. I want to be at a point where I'm earning a couple $100,000 a year, and this business will give me that.
That's right.
But I don't need to go any further than that. Some people want to, some people don't. But I'm chasing. I want to be able to just travel, buy what I want to be able to buy when I want to buy it, within reason, and not worry about money. Like, without going way back too far, but for a lot of people, just to give you some context in that, I had my first daughter when I was 16 years old. I was thrown into an adult world at 16 years old as a first-year apprentice with a girlfriend and a baby on the way, and ever since then till before I started this, I've really struggled my whole life. Financially. I've still lived this life, and I've done a lot of things, and I worked in defence for 6 years as a marine technician. I travelled a lot doing that. It was amazing, but again, I sacrificed my life because I was never home. And then I worked in the mines. I earned good money, but then as soon as I earned good money, I didn't have the right mindset to do the right things with that money, so I wasted it. And then I got to a point where I bought this big flash house because I thought that's what society wanted me, what was expected. I thought that was success. And, you know, we all get taught this stuff at school, and it's really wrong. And I won't get into the schooling side of things because I'll be here for hours, but it's the wrong mindset, right? We get taught the wrong things right from the start, and you chase something, and when you get it, you realize that you're still not happy.
No.
And I wasn't happy, and yeah, it's very important to know what you want and why you want it.
Yes,
and
that's it. To have that why is a key to it as well. To have everything. That why, because that gives you something to drive for, and it's got to be a realistic why. If you're somebody that wants, their why is I want to be a millionaire, it's not really, to me personally, that's not a genuine why. I want
what?
Yeah, that's it.
Why do you want to be a millionaire?
That's right. No, personally, my why is wanting to spend more time with my kids and grandkids, and have time freedom to do, like yourself, to do what you want when you want. And to me, that's a bigger why than wanting to be a multi-millionaire or anything. You know? Yeah,
100%, 100%. Like this business, that's what's good about this, right? Is it can turn into whatever you want it to be, and that's why it's so good, because it really is and I'll contradict myself here because we said it's not for everyone, but for the people that do come in, there is something for everyone, right? Yes. Like some people come in here and they don't want to quit their jobs. No. They just want to earn some more money because they like what they do, but they've got too many overheads.
Yeah.
So you only got two choices then. You either reduce your overheads or you earn more money. And most people want to do this one because no one wants to get rid of their toys. So that's important, right? But so whether you're someone that just wants to create a little bit more income and grow that way, or if you're someone that's I don't want to work for someone else now. I want to be working myself. I want to become an entrepreneur, and I want to invest in money, and I want to make my money make me more money. There's that for you, and there's this for you. Like everything's here, and you can build it to a point where if it's giving you what you want, and you can build this business to be pretty much automated to a point where once everything's in place and you've done the hard work of 3 or 4 years of hard work and getting everything up and running and working properly, and you've invested your money in the right places, you can pretty much earn an income without with doing a couple of hours a day at most. Where else can you do that? Like it's crazy. And for the people that don't believe that can be done, you're naive. And you're going to get left behind. I used to think that you had to be rich or successful or whatever to make that happen. I now know that that's not the truth.
No. It pretty much, if anyone can do it if they're driven. So,
100%.
All right. Well, basically, the last thing we usually like to ask is, as I said, you covered most of the questions, which is great. I didn't have to ask too many, which is awesome. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Because we've all got a long-term goal, but we sort of, 5 years is generally where a lot of people like to aim for at this, as a first off, like 5 years, I want to be here or there. So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Well, I'll go one step further. I've got a plan right now for where I want to be at the end of this year.
Yep.
I've got a plan where I want to be at the end of next year.
Yep.
And then I obviously have the long-term 5-year and 10-year plan. So it's very important to know where you're going and why you're doing it. And I think if you worry about too far down the track and not set any short-term goals, you lose drive because it seems so far away. So it's very important to set goals along the way as well. But 5 years time, man, I will be, both me and my missus will be semi-retired. We will not be working for anyone else. We will be traveling around this country with our kids. Now, we're still trying to work the logistics out of that because our kids are a little bit older, as I said earlier. And I'm planning on leaving for our lap around Australia, or laps around Australia, in 2022 January 2022. I plan to leave. So next year is going to be a big year for me. I'm planning to buy the caravan. I plan to buy the vehicle. I plan to get everything ready, do some trips, and then get to a point at 2022 January. I'm gone. Everything's running perfectly with the business. I'm going to throttle back for myself in how much time I'm investing into the business and try and automate some things, and essentially start to enjoy what I've worked hard for that 3 years, including now. 3 years I've given myself to get myself to a position where I can take my foot off the gas and start to enjoy what, and you got to think, a lot of people have that same plan, but stretched over 40 years.
Yep, that's right. That's exactly right.
They work all this time for someone else so they can retire and go and travel. You can do that in 3 to 5 years, right? If you're willing to do it. So man, that's where I see myself. And once we're finished, once we're done here, traveling Australia, then I want to go on that once, and the kids are grown up and our youngest is gone. My plans, the missus is 100% on board this one yet, but I love the ocean. I love being on the water. I would love to buy a catamaran, a 40 or 50 foot catamaran, and travel around Australia again while I'm learning how to sail properly, and then hit all the islands, South Pacific, man, and just live it up. And then when we're done with that, I want to find some little island, mate, with a shack on the beach and just enjoy life the way it's supposed to be done. And there's absolutely no reason why anyone can't create that or whatever their idea of their dream lifestyle is.
Love it.
In a lot period of time.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Love that. Yeah, like I say, you got sort of longer term, and that's great. Yeah, find a little island, Steve's Island. That's the stuff. Righto then, bud. Well, we might wrap it up at that. Thanks heaps for sharing all that. Really appreciate it. And all
no worries. Thanks for having me on, and I hope anyone that watches this gets some value. Because,
definitely. I hope so too.
Yeah, don't be scared. Like it's scary. It's overwhelming. It's all these things. But if you get out of that and just try it, it's amazing what it can turn into.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Righto then. All right. Cheers, bud.